Magnolia Grove, The Story of Rear Admiral Richmond Pearson Hobson by Dr. Harvey Rosenfeld. Prologue. Santiago de Cuba, June 3rd, 1898. Valiente, valiente! It was early in the morning, just past daybreak, near the entrance of Santiago Harbor. Just minutes before, the 8 men floating on the small catamaran, all that remained of the dilapidated old collier Merrimac they had just succeeded in intentionally sinking, were readying themselves to die. They had seen the squad of riflemen on the Spanish launch they were hailing form into a semicircle. They had heard them shout the dreaded instructions, load, ready, aim. The miserable cowards! Lieutenant Richmond Pearson Hobson, senior officer of the crew, had thought bitterly. A brave nation will hear of this and call for an account. But no account was to be reckoned, for the command to fire was never voiced. A most distinguished-looking and elegantly dressed Spanish admiral and 2 of his junior officers leaned out of their cabin and called the firing squad off. Lieutenant Hobson responded by quickly removing his revolver belt, glasses, canteen, and life-preserver, and surrendering himself and his crew. Their nearly suicidal mission to block the Spanish fleet had not succeeded as hoped. The rescue plan did not materialize as planned, and now they had no choice but to turn themselves over to the enemy. The Spaniards looked on in amazement as Rear Admiral Contra-Almirante Cervera y Topete pulled the strikingly handsome American naval officer and his 7 crew members out of the water. Who were these Americans, dressed only in long woolen underwear, with revolvers and life-belts strapped under their stomachs, that had dared to execute and nearly successfully complete such a suicidal mission? Their astonishment turned quickly to civility, kindness, and outright praise as they chanted in unison, applauding the Merrimac crew's act of courage, "Valiente, valiente." Lavish praise notwithstanding, Richmond Pearson Hobson and the Merrimac men were now prisoners of the Spanish military, on their way to incarceration at Morro Castle. Chapter 1. Something to Say for Heredity. Under Providence, some have the privilege of dying, others the...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?